Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Double honors be to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this 100% truth. Much peace and blessings be unto you, hopeful who like to push not this word of thought, truth, and sincerity. To all you alchemists say Shalom. I am the Akira'an from the servants of Yahweh by Yahushai camp, coming in with the quick hit, going to the point off in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, verse 15. It reads, "And I will put enmity between thee and the woman," which the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, was speaking to. He was speaking unto that serpent, which was a past incarnation of Esau Edom. So, the Lord said, "And I will put enmity." That word enmity means hostility. That's in the etymology, or also in the blue letter. That word enmity, if I can get a better definition, it's hostile feeling, rivalry, malice, internal conflict. There's always been that rivalry, because that's going into that woman is really referring to the nation of Israel. All right, it ain't talking about Eve. So that's talking about the nation of Israel, because it goes on to say, "And between thy seed and her seed." A woman can't produce seed, man. All right, a woman cannot produce seed. But a male or a man, what a woman does, just, she's basically an incubator for that seed. Then that seed forms into a fetus, and then, very soon you have an infant in the earth. That's the process, but I want to get a quick precept down the book of Jeremiah, the 6th chapter, verse 30. If I'm mistaken, that's the precept. So like the wrong one, it says in the book of Jeremiah, bear with me, the 2nd chapter, verse 2, Salakia, same chapter, just like the 2nd verse. It says, "I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman." And that term Zion really it goes back to the Hebrew word Zayawan, which means a monument, because the Lord remembers His people. All right, although the Lord said He would forsake us, in certain times, eventually He would have it to where we come back to Him. All right, that's why, prophecy states that the Lord will deliver us, out of the land of the north into the land of our fathers. He also said that He will forsake us back before that was during the Neo-Babylonian Empire. He said that He would forsake us, but then after 60 odd years or so, the Lord, the Lord had it to where, His people came back to the land and built a second temple, and we were thriving back then. So the history and whatnot. But it says, "I've likened the daughter of Zion," which that word Zion is another term for the nation of Israel, to a comely and delicate woman. All right, so we're likened into a woman, hence why the Lord always calls us a harlot and things of that sort, and we committed spiritual adultery, that fornication, because we're likened into a woman. So going back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter, verse 16 or 15, Salaki, it says, "I'll put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed." And throughout history, you'd always have, conflict between the two. All right, when we left Egypt, we were walking in the Exodus. You had Amalek, the head tribe of the nation of Edom. They came up against us, and we were fighting. If I can get a quick precept down the book of Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, verse 5, it says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, time that their iniquity had an end." All right, because in this whole chapter is basically going to how the Lord's going to curse the nation of Edom. All right, because you can read above, and it says, "And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate." All right, and that's in verse 3. So the Lord's about to, destroy this place through ICBMs. That's the ultimate destruction for Esau Edom, the so-called white man. But going back to verse 15, it says, "It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." Yeah, it shall bruise thy head, And that back in the ancient world with our forefather King David, what had happened was that, King David set up garrisons, all right? So we basically subjugated the nation of Edom for a time. I can get that out. I believe it was in 1 Kings, the 14th chapter. That's a chapter. The 4th chapter, I don't know. Or it was in 2 Samuel. Bear with me, Akim. Oh, Khan, it was the book of 2 Samuel, the 8th chapter, verse 14, and it reads, or actually verse 13, it says, "And David got him a name when he returned from smiting of the Syrians in the valley of Saul, being 18,000 men. And he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom put he garrisons." And a garrison is basically a military checkpoint, if you will. It's a military camp. That's your modern day military bases, whether that be Navy, USMC, Air Force Base, whatever, That's also your police precincts, man. The Apostle Tahar mentioned that the police precincts around the city, they're basically your modern day garrisons. So that's what it's going into. The encampment of law enforcement, of troops, basically. But it says, "And all they of Edom became David's servants, and the Lord preserved David whithersoever he went. And David reigned over all Israel, and David executed judgment and justice unto us people." But the point was verse 14, where it says how we set up garrisons in the land of Edom. So that was an example. What had happened was that after that, we had the wicked kings come after our forefather King Solomon, which was Yahushai. You had Rehoboam and all of them other clowns, the clowns of Israel, if you will, because they all went off, and the Lord had it to where we fell. Alright, because after King Solomon, we weren't thriving anymore. Esau came on top, and it says, "And thou shalt bruise his heel." Alright, because they took us out, for a time. Alright, it's just this captivity that we're in. But eventually, we're gonna come back on top again, and we're gonna take you guys down. That was in the book of Psalms 137. Yeah, because we're in captivity right now. All right, thou shalt bruise his heel. Because you threw us down. All right, but we're gonna come back on top. Let's say the scriptures. So this is the book of Psalms 137, verse 8. It says, actually, verse 7. It says, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, raise it." Raise meaning to erase, destroy, even to the foundation thereof, O daughter of Babylon. So Edom, another term for the nation of Edom is the daughter of Babylon. So, O daughter of Babylon, or the Edomites, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be. That he is italicized, referring to someone, that being the Israelites. All right, so happy shall the Israelites be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. So, just a quick head going into Genesis, the 3rd chapter, verse 16. Lord was edifying to the next one, that's Shalom.